Yeah, just because of Earth, man.
Oh
Because
my gosh,
fall's
that's so
here,
funny.
and
So it's actually, yeah, it's winter time for you now then.
yeah, it's getting there, man. It was down in the 30s last night. Crazy
Good
cold.
grief.
Yeah,
30
not,
degrees Fahrenheit?
yeah, not excited about all that, but
Oh my gosh. Well,
is what it is.
I was gonna do something else. I need my glasses. That's what I need. I'll just do this for everybody else. Oh, check this out. You can't hear me because I don't think this mic's on, but look at this.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. I figured this out. Look at this. I can do this remotely. I'm over here, but I can do
Oh, that's
this.
cool. That's awesome.
Uh huh. Meaning someone else can direct the shit while I'm sitting at the desk, and we could actually just like get an intern at this point. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
It's the type of thing that anybody else would be like, oh yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. For me, it could
Yeah.
be like a game changing, like a life changing, production wise.
I
You know
don't
what I mean? Could really.
honestly, I don't know how you do it all, man. You're just wear a lot of hats when we do this show. It's crazy. I mean, I'm sure
I
you're used to it, but it's just a lot. It seems like a lot of work.
I think it's very nice of you to say that. I think what happens is my brain, being that this is the stuff I used to focus on, it makes that the priority instead of the content for the show, which is a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it
So
doesn't come
when the
across that
more
way.
complicated it got, it's like it's all good and great, but I wasn't really able to grow in a certain direction
Right.
as much as was necessary. I
Right.
became the weakest link, I think, in my own mind. So yeah, all of the things that we've done lately to streamline it and to get like both of us here on the same screen and stuff like that have
Right.
really made it easier, and I think allowed us to stay in the conversation more,
Yeah,
which is nice.
definitely. Yeah,
Hi,
for
buddy.
sure. What's up?
Like, how about this? Oh, jeez.
There it is.
I am going to explain to both you and my friend at home what actually happens there. When you and I are in this situation here, for me, I then, I'm like, I go to play, oh, the opening or the closing. It's every single time. And I go to push the
Yeah.
button, and you can't just push the button because a little thing comes up on the iPad that says solo. Like, we're on cameras
Oh, funny.
A and B right now, something like so. You want to put this other source as and it's
Yeah.
exactly what we were just talking about. It takes me out of talking to you, which the whole point was in the beginning. It was very easy. Remember, we used to connect with each other. It was so nice.
I know, right?
Even Mrs. Ryan and I, when we were doing, the table show in the beginning. I don't know. I've had a hell of a day, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm real good, actually. Yeah, lots
Real
to
good
talk about.
is
Haven't we skipped a week, so we're good. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about tonight.
I want to tell everybody why we skipped a week too and how that all happened, but allow me to solo here and bring it in even a little further. Here we go. And it is my time to tell you, it is my pleasure to tell you that today is Tuesday, October 6th. How on earth would you have gotten to 5 p.m. Pacific and not known that information? I don't know, but it's true. October 6th, 2020. The world is still spinning. We're all still broadcasting. It's all still happening. Tonight is Tuesdays with Tory. My name is Jay Ryan. I am helping my friend Tory host this hour. This is him right here, Mr. Tory Alonso. Oh, buddy, I have
What's up,
missed
man?
you. Missed you, missed you, missed you.
I know, I know. I feel like it's been longer than a week. It's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like it. Well, it has been. We just said that. It has been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I guess
What's
it has been. Yeah, I guess that's why it feels like more than 1 week because it has been. So
I think that we're going to probably tell everybody about Tori's car. It arrived. He's already working on it. I feel like it's probably damn near done at this point, but we're going to find out all of
I
that
wish.
stuff.
I
We're
wish.
going to find out what sort of rabbit holes we've both been down viewing wise. I can't wait to talk about what I've been up to and the missus and myself, and I can't wait to hear what you've been doing, as well as just what's been going on, which should be the name of this podcast. What's going on with Tuesdays with Tori? We weren't here last week because of a weird technical glitch that I simply could not have ever predicted.
I know, right? That was kind of weird.
There was nothing wrong with the system. To call it a technical glitch isn't even really right. It was more like um, some idiot did something. This guy. essentially how we have this worked out here for our friend at home is it's very much like Zoom in that it's a digital interface. It just happens to work through our control room and our studio and our little virtual land of make believe we have here. What happens with that though is unlike our regular control room where I can control 9 cameras or whatever you want. This one is like it's minutes based and it's not a subscription. They give you like way more minutes than you'll ever need, and and it's just kind of like if you call them, they'll re-up it, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it's like 7,200 minutes, and if we figured that out, it's even if we did 2 hour shows, there's probably 10 a week. That's like, I mean, 10 a month rather. That's 20 hours, and I think what they give us is like 120 hours, 7,200 minutes, something like that. Anyway,
Wow.
somebody must have done some shows and then not exited the room or something. Maybe over the weekend. That's probably what it was, like from like the Spike Ferriston show or something. And ate up all the minutes, and it wasn't as easy as getting somebody on the phone. It was like, oh, you go through the app, and then and they didn't respond in time and whatever. So we literally just couldn't. We were both on both sides. The lights were lit. The mugs were filled. The blue cards had writing on them. And we couldn't get connected, and we called each other and we said we didn't want to do the old interface. This is so much more. I feel like I'm actually connected to you versus this little cute thing that was more of a gimmick doing it through the TV here.
I get that. I can understand that.
Anyway, so we both decided to bag it. So that's where we were. And by the way, then I let them know over at Smoking Tires, like, oh, make sure you exit the room. You don't want that happening to them.
Yeah.
Who could have predicted it?
Yeah,
I never saw it happening.
definitely.
Never saw it coming, rather. Buddy, how you doing? How you been?
Yeah, that was kind of like a weird glitch. All good, man. All good here. Still hanging on to 2020.
Did you have a nice
Yeah,
day?
it's been crazy. I did, yeah. Today was great, man. I actually found an exhaust. Well, it's not the full exhaust, but it's called a dual quiet pack. Kind of a harder exhaust system to find these days. They were real popular in the 80s. And I happened to find one on Facebook Marketplace like an hour from me for $50. And I mean, they're
Oh,
like usually about 300 when you find them. So this morning I drove over to Canton, Ohio. No, was it Canton? No, not Canton. Canfield, different place, Canfield, and it was like an hour away. And he was the craziest thing. So I get there, talking to the guy, and he's like, oh, I've got this old Volkswagen I've been working on, and he showed me his convertible, and he's like, yeah, this exhaust won't fit on it. Hopefully you can use it. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And told him about my car, and he's like, do you know Idora Park? And I was like, yeah, I know all about Idora Park. For people that don't know, Idora Park was this very famous amusement park, like an old school amusement park in Youngstown, Ohio.
oh,
And I
right
mean,
by you.
it dates back to 1899,
Whoa.
and it burned down in the 80s. And this guy has collected and amassed the biggest collection of like original Idora Park memorabilia and rides and
Oh,
all
how
this stuff.
cool.
And he's literally got a museum like in this huge building behind his house. And he was like,
Whoa. It sounds like
you
something
know,
the
if you,
American Pickers would go find.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And so he was like, if you're in Idora Park, you should come take a look if you've got time. And I was like, I'd love to. So, dude, I ended up staying there for like an hour, and he was telling me all about, each little piece. And I mean, he's tracked down stuff from like the penny arcades,
Oh,
and
that's
like
so
he's got,
cool.
oh, it was crazy. Yeah, he's got all the fun mirrors that survived the fire, and
I
like he
love
had
people who collect
half-burned
that stuff. I think
signs.
that's really
Oh,
neat.
it was neat. Well, it's so cool because like a lot of the stuff got scattered to the wind, and he's like slowly bringing it back and like reuniting all this stuff and putting
Mm.
it where it's supposed to be. And I mean, he's even
Oh,
tried to
well,
buy
I
like
relate
the
to that,
the
obviously.
grounds. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's not unlike your set there, and he's just really cool. He's a really really interesting guy, and we ended up chatting, and I had no idea that he had all this stuff. I just went there to buy this Volkswagen exhaust, so it was a
But
cool morning actually.
it's such a kindred spirit. That's so similar to what you do, though. Like you kind of put period parts or whatever,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
the right motor
exactly.
back in the right car, things like that. You do
Yeah,
that too.
yeah, just a different medium, but
Hmm.
yeah, we really connected, and I've been talking to him on Facebook today, and just a really really nice guy.
So you made a new
But
friend out of it too.
made a new friend. Yeah, it was really cool. And
Kick ass.
and it's so yeah, I've been watching videos of like the fire from 1984 in Idora Park, and it's really sad. Like, I mean, the whole thing just burned. All this stuff was like really, really old, like wooden roller coasters, and I mean, it
Yeah.
was old school, and supposedly they were like renovating it for like the new season. And I guess he told me some guy was like scraping paint with like a propane torch and a scraper, and I don't know what happened. It was smoldering or something, and he left for lunch and he came back and the whole park was on fire. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's how
and it never
Universal burned
recovered.
down a couple years ago too. Same
Yeah,
thing.
exactly, same thing.
One
Yeah,
lone
and all that
worker.
stuff's just
Yeah.
tinderwood. I mean, it's just it's kindling because it's all dry. It's all
You
yeah,
obviously
it's
are old
sad.
enough. Did you ever did you ever go to that park as a kid?
No, because I didn't grow up in this area.
Oh, oh, right. Of course, I
Yeah, I
forgot.
was in Texas, but I mean, I'd heard of it, and I guess there was a really famous carousel that did survive the fire, and it's now in Brooklyn, New York, like in some park, and it's like in this glass like
Yeah.
case like that. Yeah, that carousel is from Idora
It
Park in
it's in
Youngstown.
movies and everything. I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
wish I could think of the movie, but there's literally a big glass enclosure around it so that you can see it all throughout, and it's all lit up inside.
yeah,
It's been
yeah,
in
yeah.
movies. There's some movie with something in a tree, and it's across from that. It's like magic in a tree.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't.
That's I don't. I'll have to figure. I'll have to remember that. But it's been in movies too. I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about. That's super cool.
yeah. So that carousel was at Idora Park for decades,
They
and
always save the carousel. That's so weird.
I
When
know
you
it is
started
funny.
talking about this guy, it made me think of my childhood, of course, and the Danbury Fair, and that and we talk
Hmm.
about that all the time because it's just so ingrained in my memory. But there are places. There was a place in Stamford, Connecticut called United House Wrecking way back in the day. It's probably still there.
Okay.
The name is awful. United House Wrecking. But they were a salvage place, and they probably that's where they got all the stuff from the fair. But it was like all a mass. The Paul Bunyan, the gigantic Paul Bunyan, and the
Yeah. Oh
babe with
yeah.
the blue ox. All that stuff
Yeah.
from the fair was always there, and I loved going with my dad years later to see all the stuff because
Yeah.
it brought back all those memories.
Of
And
course.
ironically, the one thing that I know that survived to this day is the carousel from the Danbury Fair, and it's been in the Danbury Mall, like in the food court, since they built the mall.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
that's like
so
the one
cool. I
surviving
love stuff
element that
like
I know
that.
of.
That's cool. Yeah, I love like old artifacts and stuff like that. And like I mean, I'll have to send you some of the pictures, but like I was just geeking out. I mean, he had like a huge sign that said Kooky Castle that was like the haunted house or whatever, and like
Oh,
just
cool!
a
From the
different
rides,
time.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like all the original signage, and like I said, the wacky fun mirrors, and like these arcades, and he had these little, they were actually like little shrunken down 300 SL Mercedes, but they were like on a track, and like kids could drive them, but it was
Oh,
kind of
like
like a
Autopia at Disneyland.
Tomorrowland. And yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, Autopia, yeah, yeah, same thing. But
There's a big groove
yeah,
in the road you can't drive it off
yeah,
of.
yeah, exactly. You think you're driving it, but I mean, you can let go and it's still gonna go where it's gonna go,
Right.
but
That's so cool.
still
That was,
super
by the way,
cool.
my favorite as
Yeah.
a kid. I'm sure a lot of our auto viewers probably the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
So that
man,
was really cool to see that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was kind of like,
total
bummed I had to
bonus.
wake up early, and then like, just a bonus. Yeah, like you said, just a little added bonus from going over there, and then at the end of the like visit, I was like, oh, I guess I need to pay you for this muffler. Like we didn't even talk about the muffler, which is the whole reason I'd come over there. It was really cool. But
That
so
is
that's
fun.
what I
Yeah,
did
right.
today.
I got to give you $50 still.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, I came here for something, right? Was it for
What
amusement park
was it?
stuff? So yeah, so that was
C-
cool. And then
can you
I've spent
play?
the rest of the day I'm rewiring that 65. I bought a whole new like wiring harness for the car, so
Well,
I've
wait a
ripped
second. We
all
got
the
to talk
wiring out.
we have to talk all about that if we're going to get into that. Let's not do that just yet. I want to tell you about my day first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What
I
what's
want to
going on
see
with
if I
you?
can do this on the. Oh yeah, you can. Oh good, you can do stories on the computer. I know what I'm. Won't make any sense till you see it. You can do Instagram stories on the computer. I wasn't sure. Let's see
Oh,
here
cool.
and get to it. There we go. Here we go. Here's today.
Nice. She getting her hair did?
She's getting her
Oh, is
hair
she cutting
did.
her hair off?
Got her hair cut off.
Oh my gosh, Nicole.
There's
New
that. No sound,
June.
unfortunately. Sorry about that. And
New
then
June.
she was doing a photo shoot. Just getting her
What?
makeup done there. There we go. Doing a photo shoot.
That's awesome.
Here we go. She's getting blown for the wind while they're taking the pictures. so
That's
that short hair
hilarious.
moves. Oh, get out of that because that's unrelated. Although we'll talk about that in a second too. Big RIP today.
Oh man, I'm so bummed about that.
There we go. It was like there was shoots all over the place. With
Wow.
the audio, it was much much better. We're outside.
You digging the hair?
I love it. Yeah, yeah. I think it's great. I mean, we are so beyond the physical. We're
Yeah.
so beyond like, oh gosh, you sure look nice today. Although we do tell each other that sometimes, which is still kind of nice. Um, Whatever makes her more comfortable, whatever
Yeah.
makes her head work like her brain work a tiny little bit easier,
Yeah.
anything like that, I am so 100% for, and usually like pushing in the catalyst for.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did this on her own because she was setting it up. She was getting the makeup done anyway, and they said, well, why don't you just do
Hmm.
a cut? Nicole is doing a photo shoot for. I don't. I, she. I, we'll get. I don't want to blow any news here, but she's got stuff in the works, and
Awesome.
she's. Yeah, she needed to do a photo shoot today for the cover of something that she'll tell you about soon. But it was a
That's
really, really fun
fantastic.
day because it was all about her. Like I cleaned the house, and then the
Yeah.
people arrived and started doing stuff. Like where do we set up? That kind of
Wow.
deal, and it was
That's
really great.
fantastic, man. That's awesome news.
Yeah, and this is has nothing to do with the show or Porsche Life or anything. This is solely New Life of Old Nicole, which to me is really, really exciting.
That's cool. Very.
Yeah,
That's good for her, man. That's awesome. It's nice to hear that she's got some stuff going on and she got something she can focus on and, be
yeah,
excited about and yeah, and
yeah.
not just be a
This
passenger. That's cool. She's in the driver's seat. That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. And with that, once you are in the driver's seat, you have to create your own,
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
lines,
Choose
your
your
own
own adventure,
future.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
exactly. Yeah.
I think it's really, really great, and I'm really proud that she's doing that right now. So,
That's
full
awesome.
support from this guy over here. I think it's. I just want her to know, like, we're all behind
That's
you. No matter what happens
yeah.
with any of this shit, we are all behind you.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Very
If I didn't
cool.
mention already, Mrs. Ryan is on assignment.
I saw the new wheels, man. I like all the stickers on it. How does that thing fit in
Mm.
your car, though? That's the one thing I've got to know.
Tory, I'm so
Is it
glad
a
you brought this
pain in
up.
the ass?
All right, so for everybody at home, for what Tori is referring to is if you didn't see the Instagram story the other day, I don't think I really posted a picture yet, but or maybe it's in the doggy video. In fact, I'll just go to that so you can see what I'm talking about.
And I think there was some pictures. She was with Andrew Florin too,
Oh,
that you could
good.
tell.
Okay,
She
I
was,
knew they were in the
yeah,
story. I didn't know if I posted them.
yeah.
If you notice there, Mrs. Ryan's holding a beautiful little puppy from Malibu Kitchen, but beyond that, she is sitting in a little wheelie chair, one of those chairs with wheels, and that was something that I facilitated. She wasn't really ready, but she was more than ready from a physical standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and so I bought one on the sly.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it arrive, and then I did the stickers, and I put her little turtles on from Hawaii, and whatever I could to try to make it like. Remember when she got the
Aw,
cane
so
at
you
first,
did
and I
that?
had
She
I
didn't.
brought
She
like
didn't
I
do all
bought
that.
a whole bunch of
Aw.
canes and those little glasses with the nose,
Yeah, yeah. I remember that at
and I
Newcomb's.
brought them
Yeah,
all to Newcomb's, and we all wore them for the picture. It was like I can't buy a dozen wheelchairs,
yeah. That
so
might
what
be
can I do?
expensive.
And so that's what it was. So yeah, I was
That's
like,
so cool. So you had it all pimped out and ready for her.
yeah, and so it was done in the other room, and it was like we were watching something, and I think we had maybe just eaten dinner or whatever, and whatever we were watching kind of had put us in a good mood, I think. And I was like, so there's something I want to talk to you about, and it's kind of awkward, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not in trouble, neither am I. But
Yeah,
I was like, I bought you something, and I don't think you really want it, but I'm not going to return it. It was like one of those, like I did this whole thing, and she was like,
yeah.
okay. And I was like, but I want you to think of this not as like don't think of it as a prison like you're stuck to it. Think of it as mobility, like allowing you to
Freedom.
do things that you
Honestly,
can't right now.
exactly.
And basically anything like a book would tell you about like how to get used to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got it and I wheeled it around the corner, and she was like, I think she probably knew what I was talking about, and she was like, okay.
It's time. Yeah.
And yeah, and I mean, she can't walk, and she can barely stand. So she kind of, got up from the couch and sort of fell into it. And she was like, okay. And I think she was realizing it's not bad. And I stripped it down. I took like the leg things off and the feet things off because she doesn't need that right now.
Right.
Maybe down the road. But she's not a paraplegic. She's not tied to this chair. It's not a prison. It's something
Right.
she can use as a tool when she
Something to help
wants
her
to get
out.
from here
Yeah,
to
she's not
there.
gonna get. Yeah, she's not gonna get tuckered out as easily. Like it's mobility and freedom, really.
Huge. And what you
Yeah.
just said was maybe the biggest thing. So anyway, she was very receptive. She was very grateful that I cared enough to, you know what I mean,
Well, it
all
was
the
a super thoughtful
relationshipy
thing.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. All the
Yeah.
husband and wife stuff. She was very very grateful. But then of course, the emotions did happen, and the tears and everything of like, this is a weird reality. And I said, so use it like as a motivator. Use it as a way to
Agreed.
like, yeah, get your shit right and not need it. And I don't know that that's possible, but I do kind of believe it, and
Yeah.
she does too. So going on and on about it, but it was a big deal. And to your point, what you had said a second ago, the first place we had it, she didn't have it at Breakfast Club, and that's what it was. I got it on Saturday, and we used it on Sunday. So I
Hmm.
figured out how to carefully. I figured out how to push my seat all the way forward, and then you have to like if it's closed in half, right? They fold up so that the wheels are
Okay.
like almost touching.
Right.
But then it's a very odd shape. It's
Yeah. Oh
just a
yeah.
very odd shape because the handles stick. It doesn't look like
Handles
it
stick
should be,
out,
but the
and
handles
then
are one side and the
oh
front wheels
yeah.
are the other. So
Yep.
you have to figure out a way to kind of get it in there, and it's not
Hmm.
easy. But I did it, and I told her, I was like, don't worry about this. Once I figure it out, I'll just be able to do it every time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
don't
It
let
gets
my
easier every
struggles
time.
right now affect you and your
Yeah.
feelings about this, because
Yep.
she was there watching it all, obviously. So whatever, I get it in. We fucking get it. Put the seat back. Everything fits. Like, it was a pain in the
That's
ass, but it
awesome.
got in there. Everything fit. I get in the car. Everything's good. I'm thinking this is going to be a rattle crazy trap for the whole thing, but I don't care because we need it. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
Amazingly, almost no rattle. You got to hit a bump before there's a rattle. It's kind of amazing. It doesn't move at all. We got
Wow.
there, luckily, to Malibu Kitchen, of course, for Sunday. And I backed up, and luckily there was nobody on either side. Like, there were two
Hmm.
cones and nobody in the middle. So whatever, I got a center. So I was able to take a minute to get the thing out, and that wasn't easy
Hmm.
either because it had shifted. It had shifted, and
Yeah, I'm
however
sure.
I tried to get it out, I wasn't doing the opposite of whatever I did to get it in.
Yeah.
But it took a second, and I got it, and it was great for her. And what we noticed, first of all, I gave her wheelies. We were doing wheelies because that makes a wheelchair
Because
more
yeah,
fun. You
why
got to do
not?
wheelies,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, it makes you feel young and not like an old decrepit senior citizen who needs a wheelchair. That kind of thing.
Right.
And plus it was fun for everybody else because nobody else really knew what to make of it either. Like, oh, holy shit. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, nobody knew, like, well, nobody
Right.
does know. This is the first,
Nobody
this
does
is
know
the
because
first
it's the
time we're
first
doing
time.
it. Yeah. But it was a
Exactly.
zoo. I should have started with that. It was an effing zoo there.
Yeah.
But whatever, it was great. Wheeled her up the ramp instead of the stairs. Like, it was very, very easy. And she got to like laugh and giggle as we zoomed right up there. And it wasn't a 5-minute ordeal where she was worn out by the
Process.
time she
Yeah.
crashes in the chair.
Exactly.
So she is able to then keep her eyes up and look at people and make connections with people instead of like having to constantly, oh, everything
Oh yeah.
hurts
Be
and I'm
worried about
holding.
everything else.
She's
Exactly.
constantly uncomfortable, yes. And I didn't mean to make this all about her or whatever, but it's kind of a big thing. So I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. Absolutely is. Yeah. That was on my list of stuff to ask about. So
Huge, huge love to Susie and Bill, who are just they always take care of us, but I mean, just above and beyond. They're so effing sweet in all the ways, in ways that you can imagine, and just ways that I won't tell you about. But they're just really, really awesome people. And despite whatever you may hear and think, they are great. She noticed probably an hour or so into it when we normally would have been like, all right, it's overtime to go. She was still
hmm.
fine. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Wow.
And she was still good. It wasn't like autopilot, I'm good.
Right.
It was really amazing. Then it was a pain in the ass to put the chair back on the car because I couldn't do it again.
Hmm.
And now here's the part here's the part I still got to figure out. When we got home, I really couldn't figure out how to get the chair out. And the ride home is a little different. Like, she's probably got to pee at that point. You know what I mean? Like, there's all sorts of things. So it's a little bit higher stress. And there's the fatigue, of course, from the day at that point, too. Well, I got the seat all the way forward and I got it. And I was like, it must be this. I think. And so I just pulled harder or whatever. And I broke the windshield.
Oh no! Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I guess whatever I had done, I guess the front wheels and the support or whatever were right up in the front corner. Like, I thought they were
Oh
against like the sun
no!
visor or something, but I guess not. So it was like,
Oh,
eh. I'm like, oh.
oh no! How bad is it? Like, is
What
it
can
a
you do
crack?
but
Is it
what can you do but laugh? What was the question?
how bad is it? Is it like just a hairline crack? Is it like
Any
it
amount
looks like
of
it got
broken
shot?
windshield is
Like,
bad for the amount of driving and the type of driving we do. It
yeah, it
can't be.
sucks
Yeah. So no, they're,
any way
I
you
have
slice it.
an appointment where they're coming here tomorrow to replace it. But yeah, I did not intend
Oh
to.
man, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. It's oh no, no. There's nothing. There's the hope is now that we know that she is at least embracing this idea. She either will
Hmm.
be in it. Here's how should I say this? I feel like she'll either be out of it very soon because she will have
Hmm.
used it as motivation to not. I don't want to do this. And or we will just simply figure out systems for all this stuff like we did the cane and like we do
Yeah,
with meals in the bathroom and every other damn thing, you know?
yeah,
There's a way to
yeah.
do it. People have had struggles. They're, you know, the world's been spinning an awfully long time. We're not the first
Yep,
ones with troubles.
yep.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm hoping, you know, this wheelchair I bought was like I like bought it off of Amazon, not like from a fancy medical place. I mean, this was a cheapie that I knew that I could do up. This was like the present wheelchair. To be like, this is the introductory. It's my first guitar, you know.
Yeah, of course.
They
Yeah.
make them way lighter. I know they make them smaller. I know they make different things, like maybe different wheels would make it easier. I'm also thinking
Hmm.
like if this becomes something that that becomes you know, say a year from now we decide like, oh no, this is a permanent part of our life. I'll have somebody
Hmm.
awesome like John Benton help me custom make one for her
Oh
that
yeah,
fits in our car.
carbon fiber and all the stuff.
Whatever, but all
Yeah,
aluminum, you know, whatever, something that's like that he can, you know,
yeah,
TIG
yeah,
well, but like something that's just badass. And I didn't mean to throw John Benton on the
yeah.
I'm going to call you list, but you know what I mean. Somebody who loves her and would love to get involved with the project. But something like that, so that we can just throw it in the back. Because we were joking about like, well, I could get the roof rack and we could make a thing for it and everything, and we could. I don't really want to do that though. The
Hmm.
fact that this one even fits in the
Hmm.
back somehow makes me want to just learn that and struggle every time. You know what I mean? It just if she sees the car looking
Yeah,
different, it's almost like a oh we had to do that because of me. That's how weird. That's how she does it sometimes.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
you.
yeah.
All right,
Do the rear seats on 997 fold down?
they do, but they're gone out of our car. There's nothing back there in our
Oh,
car.
okay, yeah, that's right.
The
That's
bass
right.
box, the
Yep.
speaker,
Okay.
all of that
Well,
stuff's
then
gone.
that's even better.
Yeah, in fact, that's
Even
why
better.
it
Cool.
all fits. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Although you do bring up an
Wow.
interesting point. I wonder if it would be no, because then I wouldn't be able to get it in there. If it were different, if it wasn't one
Yeah.
big,
So
large, massive object, if it was like two parts or something,
I
I
know.
could do different things.
I
I was
know.
thinking maybe you were right. When they do slide down, it's basically the parcel shelf, just like the older ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it goes way
Yep.
deeper because unlike the old ones, which has the back of the engine compartment, ours goes all the way to the spoiler. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Which is why it
Yeah.
fits there
Yeah.
in the first
Exactly.
place. But I don't think I could get it up and over the
Hmm.
ledge. I don't know. All
Right.
right.
That makes
Enough
sense.
of that.
I know what you're
Enough
talking
of
about.
that. Thank you for bringing it up, though. Yellow car, I'm so sorry about your windshield.
Oh, you're welcome. Well,
I
I tell
felt
you what,
awful.
I'm happy you guys have an elevator there.
You probably recall, I mean, when we moved here, things were starting to
Hmm.
be so there were a whole lot of things like step-in shower, the elevator,
Yeah.
the pool spa
Yeah. You
and
were already
treadmill,
thinking
like all
ahead.
that stuff right here. Even though we can't use it right now because of COVID, There were a lot of things that this
Right.
place had that we were. It was all ADA compliant. All of the doorways are wider, and the hallways are all wider automatically in the building. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have to do anything. Like all of that
That's
stuff was
awesome.
sort of built in. So like around here, the wheelchair, you're not bumping into walls and stuff. It's kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like it can be
That's
tough.
so nice. Well, that was smart to think ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so
No,
smart.
you guys did the right thing thinking ahead that way. That was it's paying off now.
Yeah. So she'll be back to tell everybody about that stuff real soon in some way, shape, or form, whether
Cool.
it's her own thing via blog or
I'm excited to hear about what she's got working on too. That'll be awesome.
me too. It'll be really exciting because the people who came were people from her old life. You know, like the groomer and the hair cutter and the photographer. Like
Wow.
they were all people that shot the pictures that are on the wall in here with all these famous people.
Wow. That's so cool.
So it was nice. And for me, it was really nice to see her be the focus of that attention instead of her being the person on two different Blackberries,
Of
having all of
course.
the stuff behind the scenes. So,
Yeah.
buddy,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
car stuff.
Totally. So we lighten the mood a little bit.
Let me pull up your Instagram here, and let's just tell us. I don't know. Tell us wherever you want to start. Tell me what I should be.
Oh gosh. It's funny. So I don't know. I mean, you could probably start with well yeah, that was when it was still in California. It was in
This was the
Simi
first
Valley.
picture of like when you go, I'm going to buy that car, right?
Yeah, that was the one that I got, I think, after we finished that show. I think it
Exactly.
was a Thursday night actually. Thursday edition. Yeah. That's one of the pictures I got and I was like, "Yep, I'll take it." And then I think so the next one was that's when it got loaded up in California and was making its trip to Pennsylvania. Did I tell you the story about when that thing got offloaded?
No. You
Oh
told me
my
that
god.
getting it onloaded was you said I think you said it on the show. You weren't sure because the guy he didn't know how to drive
Oh
stick or
my
something. You
god.
said
Oh my god. So okay, so this is where we'll pick up because we left off with it being I get so have I not done a show where I had the car?
correct.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay. All right.
I know a
So
lot's happened.
no, no, this story is just insane, dude. So like, okay, so when the car got picked up in Simi Valley, the guy that sold the car to me was like, "Oh my god," he's like, "Good luck. I hope this makes it there." And I was like, "Great. What's the deal?" He's like, "This guy doesn't even know how to drive stick. He barely speaks English." He's like, I don't know what he was, Middle Eastern maybe. I don't know. I couldn't even understand him when I saw him. Doesn't speak a lick of English. Doesn't know how to drive a standard. So that I mean, that's two strikes right off the bat.
Let alone a 50-year-old, 55-year-old standard.
Exactly. So they get the car on. Apparently, he flooded the car and was like, "I don't want to take it. That you said it runs." And he was like, "It does run. Like, just let me get in and start it." And the guy got in and knew all the tricks, the 50-year-old Volkswagen trick or whatever, and got it right on the truck, no problem. So it was supposed to be here like 24 hours before it actually ended up getting here. He was supposed to pick up a car at a Copart like auction place, but he was late getting there, and so he had to spend the night in whatever city this was in Ohio. So I know. Well, here's the thing. I had I'm at the same time I'm doing this Herbie sale where I'm like selling all of this memorabilia off to kind of help fund this restoration.
Sure.
And so I had like hyped up this sale for this, I think it was going to be like a Thursday night or a Friday night or something. And it ended up, I think it was supposed to be Friday night. And then I ended up having to cancel because he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be there tonight at, 8 o'clock p.m." And I was like, "Great.
Oh,
That's
gee
exactly when I'm supposed
whiz.
to be starting this online sale." So I had to like tell everybody, like, "Hey, look, I'm going to have to put this off another night." Everybody got pissed because they're like, "Oh, I took off work for this." And now,
Yep.
the whole thing. So I was like, "Great." So then 8 o'clock rolls around and I'm texting the guys like, "Hey, where you at?" And he's like, "Oh, I was late getting to the Copart, so I have to spend the night here. So I'll be there tomorrow now." I was like, "Geez, I could have had the sale after all." So like that pissed me off. So I was like, "Okay," I was like, "When are you going to be here, dude?" I was like, "I'm planning my schedule around this every time. And this is like the third time you flaked on like a legit, ETA. So he's like, "I'll be there tomorrow, 10 o'clock." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So He calls me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm 45 minutes out. Ended up being a little closer to noon. Whatever, not a big deal." So that's the video that I posted on Instagram where he's like, the car's basically just rolling by me, the one that you just played. So yeah, that one right there. So that was when he rolled up finally, and it was like around noon or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, the car made it, so that's good. So he gets out of the truck and he walks over. He's like, "This car is a piece of crap. It does not run. You told me it runs." I was like, "It does run." I was like, "The guy drove it on there, did he not?" And he's like, "Oh, it's not right." He was like, "It leaked oil all over the place. It was a hazard and all this." I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Do you want me to try and like just drive the car?" "No, no, no, no. You cannot drive car." I was like, "Okay, what do you want to do, man?" I was like, "I'm not paying you until the car's off the trailer. I got to get this thing home." And he's being a total ass. So
Oh my
he's trying to
God.
start it, and I've got the deck lit up and I can see him pumping the gas. Like he's just pumping, pumping,
He's just
pumping. Well,
flooding,
he's
flooding,
flooded it. Yeah,
flooding.
of course. Yeah, he just flooded it. So I was like, all right, well, it's not gonna start now. Battery started going flat. I was like, this is a shit show. So so
I'm sorry, it's not funny,
okay.
but I just,
No, it is
I,
funny now because like I was pissed at the time, but now I can look back and laugh. So I think there were like two cars behind mine. So he backs two of the cars off, and he's like, "We have to push the car." And I was like, "There's no way we're gonna be able to push it up this ramp because it was like an incline." I was like, "This thing, it's a bug, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna work." And he goes, "Fine, I try to start it one more time." And so I said, "Do you want me to just take it off? Like, I don't mind." He's like, "No, no, 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 I have to drive the car." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, if you're having problems with the standard transmission," I was like, "I can drive it off. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna wreck the car. It's my car. I'm not gonna do any damage to your truck, certainly." So I shit
and you
you
couldn't
not.
even start it for him and let him back it down?
That's what I'm trying to tell him. Like, dude, let me just at least get it going, and then we can
Yeah.
swap out whatever. No, no,
If
no, no,
anything, I'm
no.
tired of you damaging my car. Stop damaging my car.
Oh, dude, no. Here comes the greatest part. So he gets in, he bumps the starter, and he didn't have his foot on the clutch, and it rams the front of like the partition for the truck. I was like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, luckily it didn't do any damage to the car, but I was like pissed at that point. I was like, look, dude, I was like, either you let me drive the car off or we'll just pull it off or something. I was like, but I've got to get this thing off. I was like, do you have a bunch, like a come along that we could like, ratchet it over this hump, and then I'll just back it off, without even running it? Like, what do you want to do? And he was like, "Is that your Mazda?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I drove my white Mazda 3 to meet the truck. And he was
Pull it
like,
off.
"Yeah." He was like, he goes, "We pull it off with your car." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I don't know how good the brakes are." I was like, "I don't really want that car like slamming into mine, while
Wreck
you're
both of my
taking it
cars.
off."
He's destroyed
Yeah. And
both
he's
my
like,
cars.
yeah, yeah. He's like, "I drive your Mazda." And I was like, "No, no one's driving my Mazda." I was like,
Oh,
I said, "Let's just figure this out." And he goes, "Fine." And he got pissed off and he took someone else's Audi SUV, like brand new car. He's like, "We pull it off with this."
you mean somebody else who was being
Someone else's
moved?
car. That was just like some random person's car that he was transporting with
I'm
mine.
guessing it was this RS5 right behind it.
Yeah, yeah. The black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, so, yeah, that was the car. Yeah. So we ended
I'm
up
sure the
using
owner of that car
that.
would love to know that it was used
Exactly.
for
I know.
hauling.
Yeah. So he ends up putting a toe strap, and he drives the Audi, and then I'm like testing the brakes and trying to keep the yellow bungee cord tight, so it doesn't like spring back. And what a freaking ordeal, dude. I think it took us like an hour to get the car off.
But
And
hang on, so he drove the Audi and then
yeah,
you're in the bug?
I'm in the bug. Yeah,
So
I know.
why
So
couldn't
after
you
all,
just start it up and back it out?
I have no idea.
Unbelievable.
Dude, it was the biggest cluster I've ever had. And I've
Oh
shipped a
my
lot of cars over the
God.
years, but I had my doubts about this guy and they came true.
Yeah, you
But
did. You did.
good lord, good lord. And then he
Not it was
starts
not
like,
reliable.
well, and yeah, I know that's why. And honestly, I should have just spent $300 more or $400 more and just not had the headache. But anyways, it's just funny the difference, in service from these open carriers to like the enclosed carriers. I mean, this guy was just a complete ass, like wasn't trustworthy at all. And I even told the broker, because it's always brokers that like connect these with the people that need their car shipped. And I was like, don't ever do business with them again. I was like, it's ridiculous. I was like, they hit my car. I was like, he, didn't know how to drive a manual. I was like, it's ridiculous. Like, how are these guys even still in business?
Yeah,
But so anyways, so I drive the car like I don't know, like 40 feet, and then it stalls out. Ran out of gas. The guy only put so much gas in, I guess.
sure.
Because as soon so that was the funny part. So as soon
That's
as he's
actually
like
that's
loading the
actually
other cars,
that was always required whenever I shipped a car. You could only have a certain amount.
yeah, that must have been like what the deal was or whatever. But so as soon as he like put the other cars on and I paid him, I get back in the car, starts right up for me. So I was like, all right, cool, we're off to a good start at least. The bug likes me.
Maybe the
I
negativity was
turn out.
cleared at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think I made it like 40 or 50 feet, and then it stalled right in front of the state police barracks. So I had to like, roll into there, and then I was like,
But
screw it.
because it
I'll
was out of
just,
gas, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, screwed. At this point, I'll just tow it home. So I went and got a friend's SUV. I've got a tow bar, came back, hooked it up, got it back home. And then, of course, put gas in it, and the plug wires were actually reversed too. So I put the plug wires on right and started right up, no problem. So the next day, I drove it into my little shop, where I do all my little magic,
Yeah.
and within like 2 or 3 hours, I already had the motor out and stripped.
Well,
So
allow me. Well, but before that, hang on. Before that, let's not go out of order here. You started with the polish
I did, yeah. I just did one
just to
little
see.
spot just to see, is this going to come out like I think it will? And it did. Yeah, came out
That is
nice.
so cool.
Yep.
Because without much work, I mean, I'm sure there was some elbow
hmm
grease in there, but I mean, that really
I
is
mean, that's probably
something.
like 3 hours right there of just, I mean, it's like a 3 or 4 step process, but it's worth it.
Here we are, a
And then yeah,
couple hours
there it is
later.
in the shop. Yeah. Yeah, I literally drove it in like 3 hours before that picture and boom, engine's out and now it's all stripped down. I've got it just down to the bare case and gonna take it to the machine shop. I'm gonna do an 1835cc motor, which I'm sure everybody that's into Volkswagens that's out there that's listening is like, oh my God, why would you do that? But it's a
Hmm.
very like nostalgic, like in the 80s, 1835 was the shit. And the problem with 1835s is they have really thin cylinder walls. Well, now they make a thick wall 92 millimeter cylinder, which is nice. You just machine the case bigger for a 94, but it's a 92. So it'll run cool. So I'm going to do some fun stuff with that. And already bought dual carbs for it. And I got a cam on the way and a nice crankshaft. So I've been ordering parts like crazy for this and financing it with all my Herbie stuff that I'm selling off. It's kind of nice. So
I see that you are selling stuff. I saw. Let's see. There's a poster here.
I couldn't part with that one. I
This
kind
was
of
the
put that up
this
as
was
a
the keeper,
teaser,
right? I
but
figured this was the keeper.
I love that poster. It's massive. It's like it's really really big poster, and yeah, that's no one would pay me what I would need for that poster. I don't think, but
I
just I
love it.
love the artwork on it. It's so
I do
cool.
too. I
So,
even the weird color. It
hmm
comes across as mint with gold wheels.
I know it's so weird. Yeah, pretty crazy. But
Oh, it's
the
awesome.
foreign movie posters, that's Italian, obviously, but the foreign movie posters are so much better than the shit we got here. So I've got a lot of those, but yeah, man,
That's
I've sold a lot
awesome.
of stuff. Gonna have another sale probably Friday night, especially now that I'm not waiting on a flaky driver to show up with a car. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Um, let's see. You also. I'm just going to keep on going down your photos here because I thought this was just so incredibly appropriate. I couldn't believe how well this sticker went with your car.
Oh, isn't that cool? So
It's
that's a
ridiculous.
guy. Isn't that neat? Yeah, there's a guy named Stu that's over in the UK, and he's started this. It's called Back to '89. They have like a themed car show. It's kind of like Radwood, but just for like custom Volkswagens. And right now in the UK, that
Oh, it's a
80s
private
thing is
account.
like blowing up, dude. I mean, it's like it's crazy how big that scene is over there. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before it starts here. I mean, it's already kind of started, but yeah, you had those decals and I was like, God, I'd love to have a couple of those and
The
he sent them
colors
to
are
me and
absolutely perfect.
it's
The yellow, the
amazing. I know
blue,
it's
and the pink in even the right shades. It's amazing.
I know it's so cool. I was like, man, talk about meant to be. Like it's perfect. So yeah, put that on there. So the car's coming together, man. I'm having a blast. It's so nice to have something to work on and not have to like concentrate on, like what's going on in the world. It's nice to just check out, go out there and just be.
So separately from like the ordeal of getting it and the guy and the truck and the gas and the whole bit, separately from all that, when the car arrived, I mean, are you happy with this car, the bones of this car, the soul of this
Oh my
car?
God. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Great.
yeah. I mean, there's literally no rust on this car. There's like little surface rust, like where paint's chipped away. But
Patina.
aside from that, there's literally no rot anywhere. Like, I
Wow,
mean, the
that's
floor
awesome.
pans are perfect. The heater channels are perfect. Like, these cars are so nice to take apart. Like, Pennsylvania cars, I mean, you snap bolts, you are drilling stuff
Oh,
out
everything's
and
all corroded
retapping,
and
and
everything.
like, oh, it's awful. But this car, like, everything's so nice to take apart on it. It's so great. So right now I'm in the middle of rewiring everything. The wiring was just a mess. It's decades of like people that don't know what they're doing, just twisting wires together in electrical tape. And I was like, no, 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 we're not going to do that. Like,
And
rather
it's
than
one
try and
Frankenstein project on top of another.
uh
It's never been
it
all
is. It
pulled
always
out.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's 50 years of this. So
Right.
for
And who knows how
200,
many owners of that?
yeah, exactly. So I mean, for $250, I'd rather just have a legit perfect wiring harness. That's new wiring. You don't have the ground issues. You don't have the drop in the voltage by the time it goes from the starter switch to the battery to the backup to the ignition. And yeah, it's so much better to just do a new wiring harness. So that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now.
Do
So
you
it's
make
kind of
it
cool.
yourself, or is can you? Are they available?
No, it's available. It's a
Oh, nice.
turnkey kit. It's completely color coded, just like the factory.
Oh, I
It's
love
a
that.
company called yeah, it's a company called Wiring Works that does them, and you can get them for like $250. Comes with all the connectors,
That's
literally
amazing.
everything that you need. Yeah, it's super cheap. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it sounds like a big process to rewire the entire car. I mean, I've literally pulled every single wire out of the car, and I'm replacing every single wire with this kit, but the looms are pre-made. I mean, it's like 15 feet long. It goes through the body, and everything's cut to length how it's supposed to be, just like the originals. It's awesome. It's
God,
super easy.
yeah.
So I love it. Yeah, it's nice. It's
It just
amazing
makes the
though.
whole
All the stuff
process
just
so
comes right
easy.
back. Oh, it does. It does. That's the way to go. So yeah, I'm having a blast with it.
So
It's
so
been
once
nice.
that's done,
Uh huh.
and then you put the motor back in. I mean, is it a driver?
Yep.
Is that it? Are we good?
Yeah, I'll probably. Well, I want to put a different front beam on it because it's got a stock beam on it now. At one point, it was slammed like super low in the front. I want to make it low again in the front, so I want to
Okay.
put a different front beam with dual adjusters and stuff on it, and I want to go through every system. Like the
Yeah.
brakes, he claimed he did the brakes, and they're not good. So I'm gonna redo the brakes and I want to buy new wheels for it. And so, I mean, there's not going to be anything on the car that I haven't touched by the time everything's said and done, but
That's how you are with
I'll be
everything.
able to trust it. Yeah, exactly. So, but
Well,
it's getting there.
I just think of the Ford versus Ferrari 906. I mean, it's like you touched everything, every single thing.
Yeah, I know. I know. Thankfully, I didn't have to do the motor in that car. The motor's good. So that was cool. But
Not
yeah,
everything.
so that's what I've been up to, man.
Oh
It's been
man, that's a.
crazy, but it's been fun.
Well, I'm just happy to see you. You look happy and accomplished. Like it's the old Tory. You're like, yeah, I do stuff, and I'm happy. You were
It's,
sitting there
yeah.
stagnant while you were looking for the next project, waiting for the right car, all that stuff. And the
I
hunt's
know.
fun too. But like you're like me, you got to be out there tinkering on stuff.
I do. That's like I don't know. It gives my life purpose, and like I feel like I have tasks to complete now, and like problem solving. It's just funny. Like I love like when I find some like horrible thing that some previous owner did. I'm like, oh, I know how to fix that. Like I'll
Yeah.
make this better, and like yeah, it's just funny. I love doing stuff like that. So yes, my life has purpose again. It's been
Um,
really nice.
it may as well. I mean, if you're good with the car, I would say this may as well be a great time to bring up what you watching. I'm curious. I'm curious because I know you've been in the barn a lot, doing the work. But I'm curious what you've been up to, what you watching.
Honestly, this is gonna be the shortest segment ever. I haven't turned the TV on since I got the car.
Good for you. Oh well, maybe
Yeah,
that's why
like
you're so happy. You're staying off the
no
damn
lie.
box.
Yeah, yeah, I think that is it.
The
I mean,
box is full of
haven't
bad
been,
news unless you put your own thing on it.
dude, it totally is. And like now I'm just like out there in my own little world and just, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've watched a single thing. Have I? trying to think if there is anything I've watched.
When we checked in with you last, you were going down the space wormhole,
Yeah,
space
I
rabbit
did all
hole,
that. Yeah, check that all
and it
out.
was started with it was the Challenger, and then you watched the Away
Yep.
series. I still haven't seen
Yep.
Away. We've been burying ourselves in the space movies.
Okay, gotcha.
So we did Close Encounters, which I
Okay.
have always loved, but I seem to experience more every single time, no matter what. I guess the more I'm
Okay.
older and the more I'm open to whatever. That's just simply one of the best movies ever. I
Yeah.
just love it. I
Yeah.
just love it. I was moved to tears in some points because I was just like, Dreyfus is amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
It's such a
Oh
Field
yeah.
of Dreams type movie too. Of like he's being called, he's being sent this information. This means something. This is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, a couple days later, we watched E.T.,
Oh
which
yeah.
also
Yep.
Spielberg. A couple years later,
Yep.
I saw that one in the theater, and I've seen it, I don't know,
I did
20
too.
times since. Gosh
Yep.
darn it, better every time. We watched the original, not the reissue.
Hmm.
The police still have guns. Remember?
Yes. Yeah. Not the politically correct one.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it. I didn't mind it so
Yeah,
much, but
it's
like
just like, well,
we
dude.
happened to watch the original the other day,
Yeah.
and that movie to me was just absolute perfection. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe how good it was, and I knew it was good. I
Yeah.
got so much more out of it. It's
Yeah.
also really scary. It's
It
really dark
is.
and scary.
Yeah. Even as an adult, I watched it recently, like within the last couple years, and I was like, "Wow, this is. I can't believe I saw this as a kid." You know.
Do you know the movie
Yeah.
really well?
Fairly. Yeah.
You know the first. I don't know if it's the first night, but the night that all right, ET gets left. Whatever we see that, and he's on, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
1982 movie. But the kids and the pizza and all that, we're calling it the Goblin. Oh, the Goblin, your
Yeah.
mom with the
Yeah.
Goblin. So that first night, I should have just started with the Reese's Pieces. When he's luring him in with the Reese's Pieces, when he
Yeah.
finally gets ET, like he meets ET, steps on the whatever, and he brings him into the house.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, Elliot gets so tired, and I always thought that was so ridiculous. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Like, why? This
Like I wouldn't be
amazing
able to
thing is
sleep.
happening, and then he just
I
gets
know.
tired. Like, okay,
I
well, we'll
know.
pick it up tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
always
Yeah.
bothered me as a kid. As an adult, it makes perfect sense, but you just don't understand it yet. He's already
Hmm.
feeling ET. ET was tired. ET was
Yeah.
exhausted. ET just got
Yeah.
stranded. He's been terrified living in a shed for 24 hours.
Yeah. He's
Scared the
mimicking his
bejesus out of
energy.
yeah, in a
Yeah.
cornfield and everything. The dog's barking at him. He was
Yeah.
terrified and exhausted, and he finally got brought inside, and ET was
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was brilliant. I started crying. I was like, this is, it's, ah. It was so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's a
I
great
felt
film.
like a real idiot for never picking up on that, though.
Well, I mean, as a kid, you're not going to pick up on something like that. You know, it takes you
But I've seen
watching
it
it
an
as an
awful
adult.
lot of times since I was a kid. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, I did watch.
it was pretty funny. But there was a
I
lot of
did watch.
moments like that too, where you just, you're an adult now and you have a different perspective.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I did actually watch a movie the other night. I lied. I
What was it?
did you ever seen Sex Drive?
Oh, no, but
It's
it's
got the
always
kid
in the
from Hot
queue
Tub
on
Time
every
Machine.
single streaming service of you should watch this.
Oh God,
I've
it's
read the
hilarious.
thing multiple times though. It's
It's
something
so
about
funny.
it's somebody who's going on a road trip to have sex for the first time or something.
Yeah.
A kid wants to
Yeah.
have sex
It's
for the
really
first
funny.
time, so he has to like
Yeah.
drive across
It,
country or something.
Yeah, it's the kid from
How
Hot
was
Tub
it? What
Time
is it?
Machine. Oh, it's fantastic. I've seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in a while. And I was like, you know what, this I just needed to laugh. Like I needed to like check out and just
Yeah.
watch some stupid mindless movie that you didn't have to think. And I saw it, same thing. It came up in my queue again, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll just give this a whirl again. And I forgot James Marsden is in it. He's like young. He plays like this Stifler type character.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, it's really funny to see him like that because I mean I know him from like Westworld and all these other movies he's done since, but he's
Oh, I
like
forgot
this
about
kind
Westworld.
of
Yeah.
yeah, Westworld's fantastic. But so yeah, so it's the kid from Hot Tub Time Machine, and then his older brother is James
Clark Duke,
Marsden.
right.
Yeah, he's who I love. I love that kid.
He's a
The
really
first
nice
Hot Tub
kid
Time
too.
Machine's amazing. Yeah, really really cool. And then Seth Green is in it. Seth Green plays this Amish guy.
Whoa.
It's just a really really funny movie. It's stupid. It's like an American Pie kind of a movie,
I
But
have. Let me ask you because you've probably seen this one too. Then European road trip. European. Is it European?
Yeah, they
Fuck.
were road trip and then European Euro trip, I think is what
Euro
it's
Trip.
called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Euro Trip.
yeah,
You've seen
yeah,
that
yeah,
one?
yeah.
This isn't where I
Yeah, of
park my
course.
car. Okay,
Yeah,
that is not a good movie, and I'll watch it anytime it's on cable or whatever
yeah,
because it
it's one of
cracks me
those.
up.
Yeah, it's one of
The
those.
guy from Saturday Night Live. Oh, Miss
Yeah,
Scusi, Fred
yeah,
Armisen.
yeah,
Oh God, that movie is very
yeah.
funny. So I
It is very
totally
funny.
I get what you mean.
But what struck me about Sex Drive is it's so like politically incorrect by today's standards that you'd never be able to like say half the stuff that they say in that movie.
Well,
And
good
it's
luck fucking
like,
a pie these days. Ooh, excuse me.
oh, dude, no, you don't even understand. Like, I mean, the LGBTQ whatever MNOP community would be all over them. Like, I mean, it's really bad,
I
and just
gotcha.
like the stuff they say and do, it's just like, but it's like that's what comedy was back then before everybody got offended, and like it's kind of refreshing to watch movies like that are like, geez, this wouldn't fly nowadays, but like it's still here. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny.
I
But
always funny. I think it's funny how like in the, I don't. I'm not talking about Me Too and sexual stuff, but
right,
cancel culture for like saying the wrong thing. It's funny to
yeah,
me how like what you just brought up. We'll cancel a comedian for saying blah 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 back in 1986 in his act.
yeah,
When the
yeah,
truth is, do you know why that was in his act? Because it made you laugh. That's what
yeah.
people as a culture were laughing at the time.
Yeah, they weren't trying
It's
to
not, this
offend
guy
people.
didn't make that funny. He wrote a
Yeah,
joke in that way
exactly.
because that's what was making people
That's his
laugh at the
job. He
time.
wants to make you laugh.
So
Exactly. I
my point
mean,
is, we're canceling the wrong side. Like he's literally giving the people what they want. They're
I
laughing
know.
at it.
I know. It's kind of sad. I
That's why
I
I have
tell you
such a
what,
hard time with all of that.
I wouldn't want to be a comedian right now because I mean, I feel like you're just like in this minefield of like what's okay, what's not okay,
Well, but look what
like
happened. They got taken out. The entire profession got by COVID. I mean, there are still some comedy
sad.
shows that people are trying to put on, and certainly parts of the country. But like the Comedy Store is closed, the Laugh Factory's
Yeah.
closed, the
It's
effing
crazy.
Improv's closed.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know, man.
crazy.
Crazy times. But yeah, so I did watch that. That was actually pretty funny. So yeah, you should watch it sometime. Seth Green is hilarious in it. He's like
I
just
will.
super.
I like him. I think I told you I talked to him the night that I mean, we've known him now many times, but like the night I decided to move to LA, he was at our
That's
table.
awesome. That's really cool.
And that
Yeah, he
was
seems like a
99,
really
so it
cool
was when
guy.
Family Guy was like just starting out, before it got canceled.
Oh wow.
Both times.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts.
Oh,
So
that's
he
so
was probably
funny.
was that around Austin Powers too? Like, because
Yeah,
he was
it was
pretty
after
popular in that.
it was exactly it was right after. No, how about no, Scott?
How
How about
about no,
no?
Scott?
Yeah, I think it was
Scotty
after the first
don't.
one and before the second one, probably. I'm guessing
Okay, gotcha.
because I saw
Wow,
the
that's
second one when
crazy.
I was out here already. I saw it. In fact, I saw it across the street at the Universal Odeon
Did you?
up at
That's
Universal
awesome.
City Walk. Yeah.
That's really
I
cool.
used to. I think I told you this. I used to go. I would look at the marquee on the outside. There was like 18 theaters, and
Uh
I
huh.
had nothing to do, and I had no friends, and I had no life here. I just moved here, and I liked movies still. So I would like if there was a day I didn't have something, I would literally go like figure it out. Oh, the runtime is 2.5 on that, and it's 1.5 on that, and I'd figure it
Oh,
out,
I
and
used
I
to do
would go.
that.
Yeah, I'd buy the one ticket,
Yeah, I
and then
used to
I'd see
call it the
like
all
three
day
movies in a
matinee.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, the all
And
day matinee,
even if you
baby.
missed the first couple minutes, like you could pick it
Didn't
up another
matter.
time or something.
Yeah.
So funny. And it's so funny too because in my mind I justified it because I would buy refreshments each time. So I'd get
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a hot dog and a soda the first time.
yeah.
And then I'd get the pepperoni
Popcorn for the
pizza
second
and
one.
I'd have them refill the soda with like a Milk Duds. And then the third, you know what
That's
I mean? I would
hilarious.
in my mind I was like, well, I'm not really stealing as much if I
Yeah,
keep buying their overpriced sundry items.
it's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh yeah, I miss those days. I used to do the same thing, man. I would plan it out perfect to where,
Really?
I'd just go from one right to the other one, and oh yeah, it's
In
not a
my
problem.
head, in my mind, playing the scenario out, they would be checking at each thing. But I happened to notice up there by buying, multiple tickets. I was like,
Hmm.
nobody ever checked, and I noticed that I
No.
was literally throwing my money away. I'd go in. This happened like for like call it a week's worth of times, like 5 or 6 times, and I would go back downstairs, go all the way back downstairs, go out the ropes, go to the the booth outside to buy the next ticket to come back into the building. It was like,
Yeah, I
what
know.
the heck am I
What am I
doing?
doing? Yeah,
If no one actually is anywhere
yeah,
even around to check.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I used to do the same exact thing in Orlando because the movie theaters there are
Still
so
stealing.
freaking big that like they couldn't. There's no way they would have enough staff to check every one. I mean, it's just there's 24 theaters at the one in Orlando that I used to go to. So like no, but
Oh,
yeah,
and
I
then
would literally
the other trick move back then. I'm sure this probably would still work. You know, you have the stub, whatever the little thing is you got
yeah
from the first movie, and just
yeah
with your soda and your pizza, just
yeah
make sure that's in your
you just
hand
raise
as
it up
well.
like oh
You're like,
yeah, I just
I got my tray and my pretzel.
exactly.
Don't make me spill my popcorn.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's funny. Yep. Oh,
So I pretty much saw every single movie in 1999 and early 2000.
that's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, I used to do the same thing, man. Good times.
Interstellar too. We watched that one 2 weeks ago.
That's a great movie.
Space movie, great movie.
Yep. Yep.
Again, better this time, even though it was
Yeah.
probably only a year since I'd seen it last.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what else. All right, so R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen. I'm not
Yeah.
a Van
Oh,
Halen
what?
like fan or anything, so it's not like a personal hit, but he is pretty legendary. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, I can't think of a
Yeah.
bigger name in rock music unless you start going to bands. Like you'd have to say Guns N' Roses over Eddie Van Halen, or
I
something.
mean, he's one of the. I mean, he's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guitarist. I mean,
Do you have any
talk to any
connection with him at
person
all?
that's.
Was he
I've
important to
seen
you?
I've seen Van Halen live, and he was actually a Volkswagen guy. He
No
had
kidding.
like he was really into VW buses,
He's a
and
Porsche guy too, or he was a Porsche guy too.
yeah, yeah, that's really cool. No, I'd seen Van Halen live. I saw him with Sammy Hagar, and I saw him with David Lee Roth.
No
And
way.
yeah, yeah, I
Oh man, then
did.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry for your loss. Shit.
Oh, I mean, it's funny. I was listening to Panama tonight, like out in the car, or out in the garage working on the car, and I was like, "God, I can't believe that dude's gone. Like, it's crazy. But I guess he's been in pretty bad shape for the last like year,
Yeah, that's
battling
what the thing
cancer.
said.
Yeah, it sucks. But
It does.
man, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people we're gonna lose in the next 20 years that we grew up on. It's like, man,
Buddy,
dude, I
it,
feel super vulnerable. Like, I mean,
there you
it's
go.
weird. Like, I mean, aside from Eddie Van Halen, like I just found out yesterday that a guy that I've flown a lot with out of Orlando, he's a flight attendant. His name's Ricky. He was admitted into hospice yesterday for like congenital heart failure. Like he's
Oh
got
no.
probably 48 hours to live now. I'm like, and
Oh,
he's
I'm sorry.
45, dude. And I'm like, geez, like, man, the older you get, you just feel more and more vulnerable. It's crazy. It's like, you're still here, but it's like, all these other people that haven't made it, and it starts to mess with your head a little bit. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of young people like passing away, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But I mean, you can't live your life like that. I mean, you just have to assume you're going to be here forever, and but live like you're not going to be here tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Sucks.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is I love that you're thinking about it. I mean, I'm sorry that you're feeling how you're feeling right now, but I love that you are having this sort of existential conversation with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
it's
none of
something.
us are promised, tomorrow. And when you hear stuff like that, not that I knew Eddie Van Halen or anything, but I mean, the guy wasn't that old. Like 65 is not old. Like you start doing the math in your head, and it's like, well, geez, I'm 43. That's however many years. I hope I have longer than that left. But
Yeah.
shit, it makes you think. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. All of that.
Yeah,
It was 5 years ago, probably when we both sort of had the wake up call
the
of whatever the
scare.
heck. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, all that. And it seemed like maybe the beginning of COVID, and then as COVID sort of maybe 6 months in, we dropped a lot of people from COVID in the beginning too. You remember? And then
yeah,
just
oh
like
yeah,
and then just a bunch of unrelated health deaths.
yeah.
And they don't seem to be slowing down by any means. But it does seem to at least be having people have the conversation with themselves that you're having right now. And I think it's a really healthy one to have. And there's nothing wrong with thinking about it, I don't think.
I mean, I'm not a denial guy. It's like I'm a realist. So, it kind of makes you pause and look at things and be like, geez, it makes you count your blessings,
That's
like,
what I
geez,
think is important.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that aren't here anymore that were younger than me, and here I'm. Why am I still here? Maybe,
Yeah.
karma. I don't know. I mean, there's some reason, but you just got to keep going. It's crazy though. Like you start to look at your own mortality, and ugh, it's weird. It seems like I think back like high school and college, especially because of this car that I'm doing. Like, there's so many like memories that this car has been kind of triggering and I've been replaying, and it's like, shit, is it really been that long? Like, it's been 25 years since I'm out of high school and college, and it just doesn't seem that long to me. But, like, wow, it's crazy. Just
It's
makes you,
crazy.
yeah, you start doing math, and it's like, how can this be? And like, but
For me,
it's
if you turn on
true.
the television or the radio or anything where there's anything contemporary on, I don't know
Yeah.
anybody anymore. I don't
Yeah, I
know
know. That
anybody
makes you
anymore.
feel old. And I'm okay with that because I
And I
don't
don't
like a
know,
lot of the shit
but it's a
that's
couple
there
generations of
now.
I don't know them now. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
stopped
I
listening when
know.
like Kanye West was new. I mean, he's like the old guy now, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's old news. Yeah. Yeah, I
Right, but in
can't.
my mind, Lady Gaga's still fresh out of the box.
I
She's
know.
like,
I know.
she's like, she's Madonna now. You know what I mean? Looking after the
I
young
know.
ones.
I know. It's
It's
so trippy.
crazy.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
crazy.
so we're old. What are you gonna do?
We
What are
are
you gonna
old.
do?
Yeah, it's
I
funny.
really, I think if we make it through whatever's going on, and I don't mean COVID, and I don't mean the election, I mean like whatever's going on energetically in the world right now, because it kind of
Yeah.
seems like it's ending.
Yeah.
Assuming we make it past that, and we still have a little show, and we're still friends, and I've still got a wife, and we're still whatever. I think the lesson is what you are learning right now of you do count your blessings and you are grateful for every day and you do find the pleasure in the simple little minutia of life that used to annoy the piss out of you.
It's true.
Find beauty in it. Find beauty in all of the
Yeah.
tasks. All of my
Yeah.
mind, but the mundane tasks of my life that would annoy the piss out of everybody. Everyone thinks I'm so OCD, and I guess that's true too. And in fact, part of it is that I relax in the mundane. I enjoy every single bit
Yep.
of whatever it is, even if it's just cleaning the house or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some people grocery shopping. You know what I mean? I find all of the things instead of getting pissed off in traffic, like I'll
Mhm.
find something to be really happy about while I sit there instead.
Yeah.
And I didn't used to be that way at all.
Yeah.
So I know it's possible to change.
Yep.
And it seems like now is whatever's going on, I'm actually grateful at the positive stuff that is coming out of it. There's a shit show of negative. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
just sweep it under the carpet. But there
But there's
also is some
positive if you
amazing,
look
great
for it.
stories coming out of
Yeah.
this time, and some
Yeah.
really amazing, like people, resilience, like really showing and overcoming adversity, and
Yep.
just all sorts of really, really cool stuff and beautiful things coming out too. And I guess maybe I'm just choosing to focus on that stuff, maybe
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's how I'm getting through it. But like you, I've been keeping the news and stuff off lately. I'm not trying to stay
You have
uninformed. I
to.
like just
Yeah.
check in, at times,
Yeah.
but it's
Yep.
not like on in the background like it was for a while.
Yep. Same
I
here.
just wanted to see what the pulse was out there. I
Mhm.
didn't really care for it, so I kind of back off.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like with this, with people passing away and stuff, I've just kind of been taking more time to stop and smell the roses. Like even just tonight before this show, I was kind of cleaning up out in shop and, dumping the trash and stuff and kind of resetting for tomorrow, putting all my tools up and I'm walking back to the house, from the backyard and I just happened to look up and it was just a beautiful sunset. Like the sky was pink and blue and it was like, geez, like if everyone just paused and like noticed stuff like that and just
Yeah,
take the
just
deep
breathe for a
breath and
second.
just like, God damn, I'm lucky. Like I get to see this. I'm still here, like my friend Ricky's probably not going to see many more of these. So it's like, you just got to count your blessings, man, and just be glad you're still here. And I don't know, just be thankful for what you got kind of a thing.
Yeah,
That's how I've been trying to live lately. So I don't know, man. It's crazy times. But yeah, RIP Eddie Van Halen. That sucks.
I don't have a connection. I mean, I liked a lot of the songs. I can't remember who was who. I think it was David Lee Roth was more about rock, and I think Sammy Hagar, his songs were more about love. I think I actually liked the Sammy Hagar songs, but I preferred the sound of
Yeah.
of I don't know, whatever. I
It's
The
so funny
closest
because they were
connection I would
both.
have would be Back to the Future, and that
Oh
is
yeah, when he
six
plays
degrees
the.
at most. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's so crazy because like the Sammy Hagar Van Halen and the David Lee Roth Van Halen were so different. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
might as well have been two different
Different
bands. It's
bands,
crazy. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, but I mean, equally as good, just different. Just apples to oranges. It's
I
crazy.
never actually did the work of figuring out what was different about it, and then I think it was David Lee Roth. It was definitely David Lee Roth. I think on Howard Stern, where
Hmm.
Howard was saying, what was the why, why were those so blah blah blah, and
Yeah,
literally David Lee broke it down so simply in the way that I just did. Only he was like really explaining it. He's like, oh, all of my songs were about rock and roll, and
and
sex, drugs, and
girls,
rock
and
and roll,
yeah,
and women,
yeah,
and
yeah,
all of Sammy Hagar's songs were about love.
yeah.
That was his answer.
It's true, but it's
And
true.
my eyes rolled back as I thought about it. I was like,
Holy shit, he's right.
oh, Dance the Night Away. Like all the ones that I kind of,
Yeah,
they were all really like love ballads, rock ballads. Who knew?
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
But meanwhile, I'm thinking of a guy in my mind. It's still just a guy screaming. Like
Yeah.
in my
Oh
mind, it
yeah.
wasn't a
I know.
softer, oh, it's about love like that. I
Right.
didn't get that as a kid.
Yeah. Fantastic band to watch live, though. I mean, I saw them with both lead singers, and they were awesome live. Really good live.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
So,
I think I did everything. It's been a day. What you watching? Where we were? We got to the car and the broken windshield on yellowcar.
oh, that sucks, man. I feel so bad.
Well, I felt more bad just because I was like, oh, I hurt Herbie. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, little buddy. I mean, I've
Uh,
never done that. I've never broken a windshield in any car, let alone a Porsche.
I
Oh, that's
broke
not
one
true.
once.
That's not true. A deer went through my windshield in the 944 Turbo. I
Jesus.
replaced that windshield too. So the only two windshields I've ever replaced were in the Porsches.
Wow.
How's that?
Sucks.
Oh, buddy, I couldn't help but notice your Hunziker shirt there. It's a
Yeah,
great
man.
time.
Rocking
It's
the
it's a
different
great
colors.
time to mention. I'm going to put my mask on right now. It's a great time to mention. If you're in a part of the world where you should be wearing a mask and you see someone who isn't, you could say to them, while you fog your glasses up, hey, need a mask? ShopHunziker.com. That's what we did. And you go to ShopHunziker.com. It's that easy. ShopHunziker.com. At the same time, buddy, I would be remiss if I didn't mention who the Late Night Playset is brought to you by. St. Clair Insurance. You know, they say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance has coverage for your toys. What kind of toys? Buddy. What do you want to
Any
insure? Do you
toys you
want to insure
got.
your ride-on lawnmower, the one with the kegerator and all that stuff? You probably can. You want to insure your jet ski or your boat or your RV? You can do all that stuff. You could probably insure your trampoline if you wanted to, your home, your business, if you rent, anything. And also, even if you're already a Haggerty customer, highly recommend getting a rep. You get a little bit more love, and you got somebody to call in case something ever does happen. And Haggerty actually suggests that as well. So check out St. Clair Insurance at coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com. St. Clair Insurance. We love you, Jeff Sinclair. By the way, buddy, there is one more thing I got to ask you about this because Mr.
Yeah.
Jeff Sinclair of St. Clair Insurance is going to be out here this weekend, and I just found this out yesterday from Paul Kennel. You and I talked a long time ago about you maybe coming out for Cars in the Canyon. It happens to be, it
Yeah.
snuck up on us. It's this
It
coming
did. I
Saturday.
know.
Any chance you're coming out?
It's funny. So I got invited to this Volkswagen show in Vegas as well. And I was like, you know what? I got nothing else going on. Like, I should check out this VW show in Vegas. Dude, I checked the flights. They're all full. Like, all of
Oh.
our flights are full because we're capping off middle seats. And
Oh.
so me flying standby, forget about it. Like, all our flights are full. So,
Gotcha.
and I didn't want to get stuck somewhere. So, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go there. But my
Oh,
buddy
that's a
Bill
bummer.
will be there. Bill Springer will be there. You may have seen his car. He had the black and white coupe.
The
And
other, the not your 906, the other one.
yeah, but he was also at Malibu, and you took a picture of it and probably didn't even know that was Bill. He
Oh,
has
was
a
that him with the 18?
yeah, yeah,
It's funny. I was talking with shout out to Chris Florin, Andrew Florin's dad, Portia's dad. I was talking to him about it. He and I weren't sure if that was the original car or not, the real car that's based on. So that
yeah.
was
So
his
that car
replica.
is that car is at the Revs Institute in Florida.
The real
That
one.
museum, the real one, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's got a fascinating history. But like that was the first like 9/11 race win was in that car, and it was a
Right.
privateer. Yeah,
Yes,
crazy
and even
story behind
Porsche
that
wasn't
car.
behind it or something. Like there was.
Yeah, and they were pissed actually that they were
Yeah,
racing this car because like the 911 was so new. And this guy bought like a car, from a dealership and just drove it there and beat the shit out of it.
that's
And
so
then like
badass.
yeah, so like halfway through the race, Porsche comes over and they're like, "Well, it looks like you're not going to break, so we might as well try and help you out. So anything you need like we'll help you out with." And so
Whoa,
yeah, which is crazy. But so that
that's such a
car
great
was
story.
yeah, so that car was a replica that they built for Ford v Ferrari, but you don't really see it in the film.
No, I
It
don't
was
remember it.
yeah, so it's the same car that was blue and yellow in the Le Mans race as well, just kind of like our 906s.
Oh,
They had different liveries, so it's
double
that
duty.
car. But then it was in the Daytona race as well, but it was that black and white, livery. But yeah, that's Bill's car. He just got it going again. It's got a Subaru twin cam in it. Like he said, the car hauls ass.
That is so cool.
Way more fun to drive than the 906 because he can see out of it. So that car will
Yeah,
be at Cars in the Canyon as well as his 906. So yeah,
awesome.
yep. So are you
And
going to
there
go to
are
that?
there are a lot of people, and I think I was talking to Auto Kennel about it. It's even with a wheelchair and whatever. It's like you got to go early and stay late. It's a big window.
Okay,
You can't
gotcha.
just kind of show up, whatever. So I don't
Okay,
think the missus is going to do that one, but I'm going to try to make it because we want to support Bruce Brown. And then also, don't you know the other person who's putting on the show, or maybe
I
it's
do.
Jeff
Yeah,
Sinclair who does?
he actually owns. It's Steve. He actually owns the Ferrari P3 and the green longtail 906. Steve
Yes,
Foster.
exactly. Right. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Right, because he's insured through coverageforyourtoys.com.
Yep.
He has all
That's
his
him.
toys covered, as you should too.
Yep.
So anyway, I think what we're going to do is Paul, Otto, Kennel, and I are probably going to convoy over with both, probably with both
Oh, that'll be a
cars.
blast.
We'll
That'll be
figure out,
really
yeah, something
cool.
like that. I think.
It's gonna be sick. I mean, they're bringing. I think I want to say Bill said that Billy, who is the guy that we all got the cars from, is renting a car hauler,
Oh, to bring
and
them all out.
he's gonna bring a lot of cars out, like
Nice.
the Ken Miles GT40. I think there's gonna be at least one of the P3s, maybe two.
I know that a
Um,
bunch of stuff that was at that Lion Air Museum is going to
yeah,
be at this as well.
that'll be cool. That'll be
So
cool.
that's this Saturday, by the way. Cars in the Canyon. Check it out. I don't know how you get tickets, but I think you can definitely go to the Instagram page and click the link there, Cars in the Canyon, or there's probably just Cars in the Canyon. It's probably just a website as well.
Yep.
And
Oh, you're gonna have fun. I'm
I
jealous,
know that they
man.
still have slots available, but they're filling up quick. So
Yep.
check it out.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be a fun show, dude. Take lots of pics. But yeah, you'll have to get Bill to show you the long hood, that black and white
I
long
will.
hood.
I
It's a
want to drive it now
sweet
that I
ass
know it's got
car.
the Subi engine because I know somebody else who's
Yeah,
doing
it's
that. That Wrench guy, Wrench,
yeah,
solopreneur.
exactly.
He's putting
Yep.
a in his blasphemy build too.
Yep.
So that's what's going on. Thursday we have a guest, but it's one of two people, and I don't know. We don't know which one it's going to be, but both will be somebody that you will want to see. So check out Thursday's show. You'll be happy with the guest either way. How's that?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just don't want to say because I'm not sure, and I don't want. Yeah, whatever. You know how it works.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. That's it. I love you, buddy. This
Sweet.
was fun. I missed you.
This
I
was
really
fun.
missed
I
you.
know it was good to catch up.
I'm
It's been a
sorry it
couple
went kind of
weeks.
long. We did talk on the phone at one point for a long time one day because we were like catching up in the middle.
We did, yeah.
But I think that I don't know.
We didn't really talk about the stuff that we talked about tonight though, so it all worked out. So all good.
It's true. I love you. I love you at home. I think that's it. We love
I think we're
everybody. Please
good.
love one another. Hang in there. Everything's getting crazy. This election shit is going off the rails. The COVID is nuts. The president has it. He doesn't care. He doesn't have it. He does care. I don't know what's happening, but it's all nuts. Everybody hang in there. Check in with yourself. Use your
Yeah.
intuition.
Turn the TV
All
off.
in here. You know
Yeah.
what's up. I swear to
Yeah.
God you do. You may think you don't, but you really, really do. Follow your heart. Trust yourself. What does Magnus always say? Go with your gut. I say make your own soup. It's all the same thing. It's all about checking in with your intuition and what you
Yeah,
feel
man.
right about. If it feels hinky, it is. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't
Yep.
matter right or wrong. If it feels hinky to you, it is. Get
Yep.
out. We love you at home. I love you, buddy. Mrs. Ryan loves
Love you, man.
everybody. See you out there. And see you
All
on
right,
Thursday.
cool. Awesome, man. Later.
Later.